Okay, so this is just me practicing. Let me delete this so we can start over. If you're using Newton, then you need to, if you don't have Excel, you can use Google Sheets. So you can just Google search Google Sheets, and then I think you might have to open an account, but it works nicely because you can just click copy to clipboard, go over to Google Sheets, then right click or two finger click and paste the data right in it. So this question wants us to make a relative frequency distribution. So let's first start by making a frequency distribution, okay? What do we want to call this? Call this classes, okay? So what we're doing in this column is we're trying to identify all the different number of options, right? There's tens, there's fives, there's zeros. So you can do that really quickly by typing in equals unique, and then you want to do it from starting on cell A2 to A21. So notice the colon there. So there's tens, there's fives, there's a zero, there's 15. And then to find the frequency, to find out how many times it occurs, you can just type in equals count if. Okay. So we want to search A2 to A21 again, all these numbers. And then you got to put a comma, and we want to see if it's equal to cell B2, right? To see if it's equal to 10. And so there's 7 times that the number 10 comes up in this column. Then you can do the same thing here, equals count if the column A, so A2 to A21, if that has cell B3. And you don't have to keep typing that. The cool thing is you can just click and drag, and it'll repeat the process for everything else. There's 125, there's 220s. So a relative frequency is, let me see if there's a programmatic way to get this. A2 to A21. Yeah, so if you go off to the side, you type in, let me do it again, equals count. This will count up the number of options. A2 to A21, there's 20 different numbers in that column, right? In case you're unsure. So the relative frequency is just like the decimal form of the percentage. I think what do they want it as? Yeah, they want it as decimal. So all you have to do is type in equals, type in C2 to get this cell, and divide it by E2. This cell over here, okay? So 35% of the numbers are the class 10, okay? Do the same thing down here, equals C3 divided by 20, okay? You don't have to type in E2 every time. Because the dragging portion, you want to be careful. It works if you type in equals C3 divided by 20. It won't, if you drag, it'll try to do C3 divided by E3, right? So you got to drag this one all the way down, the second one that I typed. Okay, that's your relative frequency table. Now to answer that question, what is the relative for 15 days? Employee with 15 days is 0.15. Okay, let's see what else. Let's do the same thing for this one. Okay, let me clear Excel. Sorry, Google Sheets. Copy it to clipboard. And they want us to create a frequency distribution. So same type of thing. So it'll still work even if the data comes out messy like this, okay? Classes, then we'll find out their frequency. To find out the classes, we just type in equals unique again, because this will tell us the number of different unique classes. And then you can click and drag. Oh, it's doing it for each column. Okay, so in Google Sheets, you got to put it in a column first, okay? Like we had the last one. So I'm just cutting and pasting these. Doesn't matter the order they come in. And then the classes, let's scoot it down one. That way I can have a title up here. There's classes and then the frequency. So this is where the types of different classes, we type equals unique. A2, we go from A2 to A26, okay. A2 to A26. What did it do? Oh, A26, there we go. So these are all the different unique options, and then the frequency we type equals count if. We want to find out if this column A2 to A26, and then put a comma. We want to see if it equals cell B2, and it does 8 times. click and drag. So there's our frequency table. Oh, they want it from least to greatest though. So let's just sort this one. Where's the sort? From A to Z, from least to greatest. Oops. So yeah, when you try to sort, it's going to mess up the formula. What you can do is you can copy and paste special. Paste values only over here. Okay. So this is our frequency table. Just scooted off to the side. I pasted the values because if you try to sort it, it's going to try to sort the formulas too. So sort from least to greatest. Now it's looking like what they have in over here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our numbers are 137851 for the frequency. 137851. That looks like that's our guy. That one's not it. Not. Yeah, so it's got to be that first one we saw. Okay, let's see what else they want us to do with Excel here. Create a histogram, increment by 4. Okay, so same type of thing. Copy it to the clipboard. Let's clear out all this stuff. I'm going to paste it here. And then to create a histogram, you want to insert a chart. And it's a, oops. Oh, I did it automatically. Yeah, usually what you're supposed to do is highlight the data, okay? And then click Insert Chart, but it did it automatically for us. Okay, they said also in the Newton problem that they want bin sizes of 4. So that's where we go here, bucket size 4. And I've noticed some problems between Excel and Newton. Sometimes it tries, sometimes they look a little bit different. The first bin maximum to 4. Okay, that's what we've got. The max is 4. Right? This first bin, it goes up until 4. So let's see. Oh, and they just want us to describe it. Okay, so from your reading this week in the book, remember right skew means that you have a couple of outliers to the right. It's skewing the mean to the right. So this is a right skewed graph. Most of the values are over here on the left side of the graph, with a few that are to the right. Okay. So these are left skewed. That's not what it is. Left skewed would mean you have outliers to the left. It's right skewed. Most of the call times are in the lower end of this range. What range are they talking about? Let's see. So it's right skewed. It's one of these two. Most of the call times are in the lower end of this range, with a few that have a higher length of time. Yeah, that's correct. A few have a higher length of time. Most of the call times are in the higher end of this range. No, most of the call times aren't in the higher end. Okay. Oh yeah, and if it has words, we haven't done this type, so let me do this for you real quick. Okay, so copy to clipboard. I think it's going to be the same type of thing, okay? Copy to clipboard, paste it, and then remember, this isn't one you want to look for. So when you're typing in, when you're finding your classes, just make sure you do equals unique, and then click and drag, not the name here. You want just these, okay? Oops, forgot my parentheses. It's A2. This is easier. A2 to A21. So those are the different possibilities. And then we want a frequency. That's where you type equals count if A2 to A21. We want to search this column to see if it has B2, pepperoni. And that comes up 5 times. And there's everything we need. So when you're choosing, it says relative frequency, okay? Just like we did before, we want to find out how many are in our column. There's, oh, that won't do it. No, that's count if. I want equals count A2 to A21. Okay, well either way, there's there's 2 to 21. That means there's 20 different options. Okay, if you count up all the numbers and all the different submissions in here, there's 20 different options. So the relative frequency is just going to be 5 divided by 20. So type equals C3 divided by 20, and then you can just repeat that process. Okay, so now we can answer their question. Relative frequency of a person whose favorite topping is sausage. Sausage is here. The relative frequency is 0.2. Okay, this video is getting a little long. Let me try to see if there's anything else. We've done that one. Okay, same thing with this one for a histogram, right? When you're making the histogram, just copy and paste it into Excel. I think we've got everything here. Let me just skip through this so I can see if there's anything else. Same thing, make a histogram. Okay, so if there is something still you need help with, please let me know.